Hey crafty peeps, it's Rena. Oh my gosh, I think it's been a week since I posted a video, but I've been really busy with the playhouse preparations. But I did manage in that week to get started on this, and then I did like a page a day or 2 pages a day because I just can't stop working on mini albums. So this is a 6x8. I used the Blush Glam collection. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. It fits really, it's like real even. This is the back. So there's a lot going on inside this mini. I did a lot of layering here on the front. Everything is from the Blush Glam collection. And then I just have, some few little gold things that I had in my stash. This ballerina I'd had in my stash for a while. I did some fussy cutting and layering and added some flowers from my stash. So let's go on inside. These are the first 2 pages, and most everything has magnets, but I did a few ties just to give it a little, touch of ribbon and stuff. But really pretty little cut aparts from the collection. Just some flat back pearls and a bow I had was gifted to me. And then this opens up like that. So we have this from the collection where you could do some journaling, as same there. And then we'll tie that back shut. And then this opens like this. So there's room for a nice 5x7 or some cropped photos there. And then we have a little pocket here. Love the cut aparts from this collection. So we have these 2 little tags, and I did some inking on the back. And then a little photo booklet tucked in there. Then we have this page, and let me show you that this is a shaker page. Yep, love it. I had this gold Eiffel Tower in my stash for quite some time and decided to put it in the shaker pocket. I thought it was freaking perfect. And then here I had this gold word love I picked up at my local craft store, and this opens up like that for a couple of photos there. And then this opens like this for more photos. So that's page 2. Page 3 is this pocket page. And I have this photo mat, which I added some trim and some flat back pearls. This little sentiment tag, and then I had this little gold clip in my stash, and this just holds together 3 photo mats. And I just have some pink trim from my stash, had this in my stash. This banner piece is from the collection, and then I just put the word happy there on top. I'm not sure if this opens. Nope, it's just a simple pocket page. See, sometimes I get so, well, wait a minute. No. Okay, simple pocket page. Sometimes I get so intricate I can't remember what I've done. Then we have this page, and it opens. It opens. Okay, so this opens like this for 2 small photos. And then this opens gatefold style. And journaling could go here, and a nice photo here. And then it opens like that. And we've got this cool love banner that's on the paper. And then we have this page over here that I have tucked these 2 photo mats into this belly band pocket. So there's that page. And let's go on to the best day ever. And this, let me see, yeah. This opens like that. And I think journaling would be good here. And then this opens like that. So lots of room for photos here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yep, that's all on that page. Then we have this page, It's a Beautiful Day. And this opens like this. And this is actually, you know what? I didn't set this up right. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, so this opens like this. And then we've got this sentiment here. And there's room for journaling here. And then photos here. And then another photo here and here. Another sentiment tag with more journaling here. And then this opens this way. And then another sentiment tag and more journaling there. So lots of room in just this one page. All right. Then we go to this page, and this unties. Love these sentiments so much. It says sparkles. And this flips open and open and open and then open and open. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 photos just on that page. And those are full 4x6 photos. I do not know how many photos. If you're interested in this album, you can shoot me an email and I'll count how many photos will fit in here, but I promise you it's a lot. So here we've got this magnets work really good. Sentiment area and a photo. And then here we've got a pull-out booklet. And this pull-out booklet. Okay, I always do it. I always do it. Yeah. It was funny because I really thought this was the one I wasn't going to do it on. Okay, our last 2 pages. This one unties. We've got that really cool banner love piece again. And this opens like this. And we've got the 2 little journaling tags. And I've inked those on the back. And you've got room for a photo here, 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 and here. So that's kind of like a sideways waterfall page. And then our last page has another shaker pocket. And this one says, "You make me smile." And this one opens, oops, let me get back in frame. This one opens like that and like that. So there we go. That is my Blush Glam mini album. If you are interested in this mini, I'll tell you, I'd like to get $100 shipped for it. Please message me at my email. I'll put it in the description box down below. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope to be back with another project very soon. Bye. Hey, crafty friends. Today I'm going to attempt to do a mini album tutorial. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm going to give it a shot. And I'm going to do it with this paper. And this is the Blush Glam paper from Craftsmith. And you can pick this up at Michael's. This is not my style of paper. I'm not into the gold, but so many people are, and I'm interested in selling my mini albums, so I wanted to create with something that was appealing to the purchasing public right now. So this is what I'm working with. And what I did was, excuse me, I cut up all my my little cards and tags that came with the collection, and I kind of laid them all out and on the top of my desk like this. And I did that to get inspiration for the pages that I want to do. So they're not doing anything but just sitting there right now where I can see them, and I still have some craft space here. I also have these spare parts little clips that I'm going to use. I have these spare parts gold words that I'm going to use, and I have these flowers that I thought went, as a matter of fact, I was going to destash these flowers, and then I was like, oh no, they pretty much go with this color palette, so I'm going to use those as well. Alright, let me bring you down here and show you that I've already prepared what I'm going to do. And that is, I cut my chipboard. I have this piece, which I believe it's a 0.50 weight, and that is for my front and back. And then this is 0.30 weight. I just got this in yesterday. I had been using the 50 all throughout, and I think this is going to actually work out just as well. And so I already pre-cut my chipboard, and you can see that they're all even. That's very important when making your mini album. So we've got that. And then I also have pre-cut all the sheets that are going to be on each page, and including the cover. So those are cut to fit the chipboard. Let me show you. So they fit just like that. I was thinking of painting the chipboard, but I'm thinking there's going to be so little that shows. I don't know. Usually I do paint my chipboard. We'll see. Alright, so there's that. Now, I take a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, and I cut it into 3/4 inches, as you can see. And then I score each down the center. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably a dozen or so of these. And these are going to be my my flaps. So I'm going to take, when I get ready, and I'll show you when we get to that point. But when you get ready, you fold this over, you measure it, and you use these to attach your pages. So there's those. Then I had some paper left over from when I cut my pages to cover my chipboard. And what I did was I cut them in lengths to match the mini album. So this is 8-inch, and this is 8-inch. And this one's a little shorter, but I cut these so that I have some pockets ready to go. So I have those, and then I have some 6-inch because my mini album is 6 by 8, so these would go this way in the mini album, but I have pockets already prepared. So that's how we get started. And I'm going to do this in segments because I don't know how to do a time lapse. And I'll be back shortly.
Okay, thanks.
I'm back. The next thing I'm going to show you is how I prep my binding. So I'm going to get my scoreboard. And I don't use the bone folder. I used to. Well, I do at certain points, but in order to score, I use this tool, and this is from Heartfelt Creations. It comes in a whole kit, and I love, 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 love this. So, yeah, here it says right here, Heartfelt Creations. Okay, so I've got my binding material already cut into 6-inch pieces, and that's because my mini album is going to be 6 inches this way and 8 inches this way, and my mini album's going to open like this, so I'm going to use 6 inches. So I have it here, and I'm going to score it at every 3/4 of an inch, because that's how much I want my gusset in between each page. Normally I do an inch, but I'm not going to embellish this album the same way I normally do with lots of large paper flowers. So I'm going to use a little less. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure how I'm going to embellish this album totally, because it's not my paper style. So this is going to be an adventure for me, a challenge. Okay, and you're going to have a little bit left over here. So what I'm going to do now is take this over to my my cutting station, and I'm sorry I can't take you guys with me over there, so I'm going to cut it real quick, and I'm going to use my score lines to tell me where I'm going to cut. Okay. So after I do that, I cut it into these pieces with 2 score lines. So actually, this is a 1/4 of an inch, a 1/4 of an inch, and a 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to take each piece, and this is where my bone folder comes in. And I'm going to use that to score it really well. And you'll end up with a piece like this. And depending on how many pages you're going to do will depend on how many of these that you need. So I'll come back when I've got these all scored. Okay, so next what I've done is I've taken my strips of 3 that are scored, and I have attached them to this piece of I believe it's called Tyvek paper, and it is actually an envelope, and this stuff is like impossible to rip. I discovered this by watching Shelly Geigel's channel, and I mean, you can't just rip this stuff, so it's fantastic to use in your binding. So what I did was I used my wet glue, and I attached the Tyvek, and now I'm going to cut each strip And now I'm just going to go and fold again on that score line just to give that Tyvek the opportunity to form to my my binding gusset. So there we go. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to have 10 pages to our mini album. So you want to have 5 pieces ready to go, and you want to remember that whatever width you choose to do here, you can do, you know, I've never done more than 1 inch, but you can do 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, unless you want your mini album completely flat. I wouldn't do less than 1/2 inch, but you could do it smaller. The next thing I'm going to do is show you how I attach my chipboard pieces. So I'll be back to share that with you. What we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and adhere our chipboard pieces to our prepared gusset folds, I guess they're called. I'll be honest with you, I create mini albums. I'm not good at the names of stuff. I will tell you, you need to make sure that your heavier weight chipboard pieces are on the outside of your mini album. Okay, so I'm going to take these 2 pieces and we're going to do those last. And we're going to go ahead and start with these pieces here. And I use wet glue. I know a lot of people use tape. I use wet glue. So I want to cover that up really well. And I use fabric tack. It's my favorite adhesive glue. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to glue it right on my 6-inch chipboard piece. And you want to make sure that you get it right at the edge of where your fold is. So I'm going to do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my trusty clothespin and I'm going to tape that at each end. Okay? So I always have my clothespins handy when making a mini album. And I'm going to squeeze that really good. And then I'm going to take my other piece and I'm going to make sure I get my glue really good on there. And I'm going to take another chipboard piece and make sure it's right at the edge again. And don't worry if your glue squeezes out there a little bit. Now I will tell you, you want to make sure you're not using a wet glue that is going to wrinkle your paper. And most wet glues will wrinkle your paper. This glue, once again, will not. Fabric tack. It's rather expensive. I normally pick it up at Michael's where it's like $14.99 and I use my 50% off coupon. But I have been told, I couldn't find it myself, but I have been told you can find it at Walmart. Okay, so here we go. We've got our first section and I'm going to let, well, what I will tell you is we're going to go ahead and get your next piece, And sometimes if you have this problem where your Tyvek is, oh, that's what my problem is. So I'm going to glue my next piece, and I'm going to take off these clothespins, and I'm going to attach my next piece. Once again, you're going to want to make sure you're lining up perfectly. And with wet glue, it's easy for it to slide around, so be careful that it doesn't slide back out of place before you put your clothespin on to hold it into place. And if you're doing a 1-inch gusset, you might even have room to put 2 clothespins, just so you're sure that it adheres down very, very well. Okay, so you want to continue to do that until all your pieces are adhered together. So I'll be back once I've got mine all glued together. Okay, so now you should be to a point where this is what you've got. So these are all the little strips that we cut, covered with Tyvek. Each piece of chipboard is adhered. So, you know, you've got your 3 pieces that are exactly the same width, and each piece has a piece of chipboard between it. So those are going to be how your pages fold. So right now we've still got our paper clips, our clothespins. I'm going to take off all my clothespins because this has been sitting for about 15 minutes completed. So the glue is all dried. Okay. So that's what we've got at this point. And what I like to do is make sure that it folds over this way and it folds over this way. So when you're looking at your album, everything's going to open nicely. The reason why a lot of my albums don't, you know, they'll open just, well, this page always opens flat, but then they only open like this, is because of all the heavy embellishing that I do. But this mini album, like I said, I'm not going to put as many dimensional embellishments. I don't think, anyway, at this point in time. Alright, so now what you want to do is measure the distance between your, for your binding. And I measured that this comes to 4 inches. This comes to 4 inches. So if you cut a piece of chipboard that was exactly 4 inches, it would go over this piece and over this piece, and then the book would not open properly. Let me show you. If you did it like this, your pages would end up too stiff. So what you want to do is cut a piece, and I do this on all my mini albums, where there is just enough room that when this page opens, it's not going to intervene. Because see, if you do it like this, it's just not going to open as well. So that's what I do when I create my mini albums. So I'm going to wet glue this chipboard piece. And like I said, I had measured 4 inches, so I cut my piece just over 3.75 inches. And you know what? I forgot a very important part So I'm going to leave that. Since it's wet glue, it will be no problem. I've got 2 more pieces of Tyvek that I've cut, and it doesn't matter how wide they are. They just need to be able to cover over your binding and over your front outer heavyweight chipboard piece. And do remember when you're putting your pieces together for your pages that you remember to put your heavier weight chipboard on the front and the back. I almost forgot that actually when I was putting this one together. So I'm going to take this piece of Tyvek and I'm going to put the piece over and adhere it across the front. And this is just more protection to keep this mini album lasting a long, long time. So there's that piece. And then I'm going to... And, you know, I learned everything that I do to create my mini albums from others on YouTube. Like I said, I watch a lot of Shelley Geigel and many, many other tutorials. And then I kind of tweak things for the way that works best for me. I don't know why my camera keeps moving. So if it's moving and you guys are... Sorry, we just got cut off there. I don't know what happened. I think I accidentally touched the camera. Okay. So we've covered our outer chipboard piece on both ends with the Tyvek. And now we're going to take that chipboard piece that we already have our glue on, and I'm going to stick that right down. And now there's more of the Tyvek showing. There's only just a teensy 1/8 of an inch that's not covered by chipboard, and what I'm going to do at this point is try to center that, and then I'm going to put a clothespin at every gusset on both ends. Until that sets. So now our mini album looks like this. And when you open it, it will open all the way over like that. And like that. And that's what you want it to do. So now our mini album is all put together once that is completely dry. And I like to kind of go down the center and just rub it with my finger. All right. So now what I do with this, and if you like, you can put a piece of, or you can put more clothespins here to hold your Tyvek down. So I will go ahead and do that, because the Tyvek, it has a tendency to not want to stick as well as regular paper. So it's probably helpful to go ahead and put your clothespins on there to hold it. So now we're all done with this. All I'm going to have to do is paint my edges with the ivory cream color, and this will be ready to start adhering pages to. So next thing we're going to do, we're just going to set this aside, and we're going to start working on pages. So I'll be back. Okay. So now I've decided, and I decided this a couple of mini albums ago because I ended up not having the paper that I wanted for the cover because I used it all up for what was inside. So remember how I had already pre-cut all my sheets to go on each page? So let me pull back. I still have my, I keep wanting to call these paper clips. They're not. They're clothespins. So I still have all my clothespins on. Okay, now here's our mini album. I guess you'd like to see it in frame. I have a hard time because I'm not used to this. There we go. This camera setup yet. So here we go. Our mini album opens. Well, it's a little bit stiff, but we can fix that. All right, there we go. Now, what I've done is I've gone ahead and cut my piece to cover the front. And I haven't painted my, I call this my skeleton. I haven't painted my skeleton yet, so I'm not going to actually adhere it to the front. But I wanted to give you an idea. So, and a lot of times I will do this. I'll make all my, my covers, my pages, and I won't adhere them until they're all complete. So this is what I came up with for my cover. I'm going to go ahead and use my wet glue. Getting it as close to the edge as possible. And then I want to leave a small border around each edge. So I just went through the paper stack. I picked the different papers that I wanted for my cover. I went ahead and cut them out. I did a little punching here. These are actually flowers that are on the paper, and I cut some out and popped them up. As you can see, they're dimensional. This is from the collection, and I just cut it out, matted it, and layered it on top of this other page where I had punched it. So there you go. When I have my mini album painted, I will adhere this right onto the front, and there is the front. There we go. The front of my mini album. I will tell you, I'm going to embellish this just a bit more. I had these gold. Can you see them? They've got some gold in them, and I was going to adhere them like this. This is not going to be a ballerina book, but I have this ballerina she's got gold. You know, she's a gold ballerina. And I thought because it says glamorous, and ballerinas are very glamorous, I was going to put her right there. And then I had this beautiful mirror, and I have this one also. This one's a little bit more dimensional, so I think I'm going to put that one right there. And let me see if I'm going to add. I have also these color flowers, which is not exactly the shade of pink, but I'm not sure. I think I won't. But I feel like this needs flowers on this side. And then maybe the mirror like that. I definitely know I want to put these flowers here. And I like to use hot glue to adhere all my flowers. And I know I want my ballerina. And since her dress is fabric, I'm going to let the fabric be what I glue down, and I'm not going to put any glue on the actual gold part of the ballerina. So there's that. I think I'm going to go ahead and I hate it when I feel uncertain. I think I'm going to, I might even just leave it like that. I think for now I'm going to leave it. Well, let's try this. How about turn this one this way? No, I think I'm going to leave it like that. So there is my cover. I actually may put a few, yeah, let me get some pearls. Let me show you, this is my flat back pearl drawer and my flat back bling drawer. I've also got this trim. Let me cut a couple of these and see. This is how it goes, guys. I just, you know, fly kind of by the seat of my pants. So that would, I hate it that that one's all, let's see if I can find a flat one. I mean, once I adhere it, I can make it flat, not a problem. So there's that. Let me see what I got over here in my stash. That actually is the right color pink. But that center looks a little bit big for that flower. So here's another drawer, and it has all kinds of fabric flowers in it. Let's see. Some of these are too stark white. I'm finding some bows that are the right shade. So I'm going to leave those out for later. Here's a pretty butterfly I think I'll use later, so I'm going to stick that over there. Where's all my flower lace? See, this one's too white. I must have used up all my flowers. Well, no, here they are, but they're too white. See the difference? But I wonder if I layered them. Oh, I feel so weird doing this while you guys are there because it seems very boring to me, and that's why I don't like to do process videos. I got these I could cut up, but these are kind of white also. I'm going to go ahead and go off camera. figure out what I'm going to do, and I will show you when I come back. Hey guys, I want to do my first page of my mini album, and I want to do it with you. I'm not sure I'm going to do every single page with you. We'll see how it goes. So, this is my 8x6, 6x8 sheet that I'm going to start with. And I'm going to use, remember how I showed you all the strips and how they were scored down the center, and I cut this to fit the size that I needed. So I'm going to put my glue on there. And if you want to use tape, you can use tape. And I'm going to center that to where there is just 1/8 of an inch at each end. And the reason for that is going to be when I put my other sheet on here, I don't want it to go all the way to the edge, because this piece would show. So I'm going to do it like that and glue this designer paper sheet down. I went to Joann's on the way home because I hardly have any kind of stuff to embellish with gold, and I didn't find very much. I probably need to go over to Hobby Lobby. Okay, so there is that. Now I'm going to make this a folded page, and I probably need to grab myself a magnet, and I'm going to put it, you know what, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the back here. So these are my magnets. I buy them in bulk, 200 of them, and I have my table's metal on the underside, so I just keep a bunch of stacks of these just mounted to the side of my table. You can hear how loud it is going back down. Okay, so alright, there's my sheet. Now, like I said, I'm gonna make this a folded page, so I'm gonna glue this, put glue on this tab, and I'm going to fit my other sheet right on there. Now I don't usually use my clothespins with my inside pages, but you could, you know, if you wanted to go ahead and put that on there. See, this is the problem with the wet glue, is you have to be really careful not to get it on your designer paper, and because I'm trying to do this through the camera, I'm having a hard time doing that. So the doorbell might ring in a minute. If it does, I'll shut it down and start over. I think I'm going to put, no, I'm going to put this designer paper. Now, remember, this sheet, these two sheets, are 6x8. So when you cut your designer paper, you want to cut it 1/4 of an inch smaller. There goes the doorbell. Sorry about that. What I was saying is, you're going to cut your designer paper 1/4 of an inch smaller, and that way you get a little bit of a border edge. Okay. And the magnets that I use are super, super strong. So, I don't like to put them really close. So I'm going to take we've got the magnet, a layer of cardstock, a layer of paper, a layer of paper, and a layer of cardstock. And then it's going to stick right to it, but I'm going to put a little dot of glue there anyway. This is going to be the outside of our page. And what we're going to do before we do anything else to this page is I have these two flaps that I'm going to put on either side of this page. And I just actually realized that where I put my magnet is going to be a problem. Yeah. Because on the outside page, I'm doing a gatefold. So I'm going to put a bit of glue right here and right there. Yeah, do you see how that's going to be a problem? So I'm actually going to take that off. So there's my gatefold. Yeah. I'm still going to need, I am going to still need that magnet here. I'm just going to have to figure out a different way to keep these two closed. But this will keep those closed. So then I have another designer piece cut. I'm just showing you how I get my pages lined up and paper on them. Then I have these two that I'm going to, and just remember, it all goes by dimensions. So your base piece is 6 by 8, so these pieces need to be 4 by 6 to meet in the middle. And I'm probably going to do a lot more to these pages, but I wanted to show you the basic construction because that's really all I'm doing. I'm not really doing a complete mini album tutorial. I want to show you how to put the pages together, how to put the binding together, and pretty much you can embellish on your own. Then on the front, all right. So there we go. That is our first page construction. It's going to open gatefold style like this. And I will figure out a closure for that. And then the magnets are holding together this upper page here and this lower page here. What I'm going to do with this is I have a pocket. And that's going to put just a little bit more room, again, between my magnets, which is good because those magnets are super strong. Okay, so for my pocket, I'm going to use 1/8 of an inch score tape. And that's because with the pocket, there is no room for error with that wet glue. So put it on the edge, as close to the edge as possible. And you pull off your backing. Uh-oh. Okay, so there's my pocket. And now I'm going to have to make some photo mats and tags to go down in there. Voila! Alright, simple as that. You guys, you're going to glue this part to the... Hey guys, I wanted to show you that I went ahead and painted the edges of my mini album. Kind of messy, but it doesn't matter because it's not going to show. So, I'm going to start with my cover. And this is what I ended up with for the cover of this mini. And again, I use wet glue. Like I said, this glue does not wrinkle my paper. And it adheres really nicely. So, there is my cover. Now, I'm not going to put an inside page because I haven't finished my first page on the inside. Well, actually, I think I'll put... I made several pages already. No, I want to put that on that side. How about this page? So let's put this page on. And we want to make sure that's lined up perfectly so it still opens and closes. And then I'm going to take my clothespins, just like I did when I was putting it together, and put those, holding those two in place. like that. Okay, now this page is the page I'm not finished with, but I'm going to show you. Where is it? What did I do with it? Well, I guess I'll show you when I come across it. But we're going to skip this page. And we're going to move on to these two pages. Let's see how this one opens. Opens like that. And this one opens like that. So I think, yeah, we'll do these two pages. So like I said, wet glue. If you prefer to use the double-sided score tape, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to line that up. And since I don't have a back page, I'm going to just go ahead and use my clothespins again. And I'm not finished with this album, but sometimes I get, when I've done so many pages, I'm like, oh, I just want to get them in there. So this is my next page. Okay. I do want to put, well, I'm not going to put anything on the next page because I'm going to skip around. And sometimes the reason I like to do this is so that I can see how, because when I'm creating my first few pages, I'm just having fun and making pages without any concern for how the pages are going to meet up. So I've completed 5 pages, and I know this page here, oh, here it is. I created this shaker pocket to go on this page, so I need to wait before I get that one on. But this one opens more this way, so I want this page to open more this way. And this page here is just a simple pocket page, so that doesn't matter. But I like my pages to open this way, not open in. So this page opens, it opens this way, but it'll still be alright. So I think I'm going to put this page here. This is kind of a thick page. Not kind of, it is. It's a thick page. So I'm going to go ahead and take my clothespins off of those other pages, because those are, well, at least the first one is already set. Okay. So there you go. I'll be back probably when I attach my last pages, but you know, I hope this has given you an idea of how I do things. I'm not used to working with this kind of paper, so this is very different for me, and I'm not embellishing as much simply because I don't know how. All right, there you go.